Well, here we are. And this is weird. And I admit it is, and yet it's fun. For the first time since, I think the last time we saw two Stanley Cup finalists who had never won a Stanley Cup, I believe was 2007, when Anaheim knocked out the Ottawa Senators. Um, Starting on Monday, Vegas has home ice against Washington, which is good because Washington is a much better road team than they are home team. And don't ask me why, it's just the rule of these playoffs. Vegas, on the other hand, has been a very solid home team and a very good road team, which is why they've done this in four less games than the Capitals. Let's take a quick look. On December 23rd, Vegas met Washington for the first time and beat them with a 3-0 shutout. February 4th, Vegas went to Washington and won that game 4-3, so this series is over in four. No. Washington's averaging 3.5 goals per game, 2.5 goals against per game. Vegas is averaging 2.9 goals per game and 1.8 goals against per game because Marc-Andre Fleury is your Conn Smythe winner. Shots per game, the Capitals have 32.9, Vegas 31.5. Vegas plays back a lot more than Washington does. Power play. Washington's is deadly at 28.8%, but their penalty kill is deadly against them at 75.4% for a total of 104.2. Vegas, 17.6 on the power play, 82.5 on the penalty kill for a total of 100.1. Penalty minutes, this is where it gets interesting. The Capitals have 159 in the playoffs. Vegas has 166. Vegas has played four less games and a lot less overtime. So what that tells you is Vegas has been taking more penalties than the Caps, despite popular myth being what popular myth is. Vegas is actually getting more penalty minutes than almost everybody else in the playoffs per game. So four less games for Vegas, and that could be key in the finals. Washington scoring. Kuznetsov leads the way with 11 goals and 13 assists. I've been asked recently, who do I think would win the Conn Smythe if it's a Capital? Probably Kuznetsov, and that would be odd. So odds are it goes to Ovechkin. I can't see it not going. I don't think Ovechkin cares. I think he just wants to win. But I can't see it going to anybody but Ovechkin because for the movie, that's the way it works. Ovechkin's got 12 goals and 10 assists. Backstrom, 4 goals and 12 assists. Carlson, 3 goals and 13 assists. Oshie, 7 goals and 8 assists. Eller, 5 goals and 8 assists. Wilson, 3 goals and 8 assists. Niskanen, 1 goal and 7 assists. Orlov, 2 goals and 6. And Stevenson, 2 goals and 5. Shots on goal. Ovechkin leads the way with 80. Then Kuznetsov, 78. And Carlson has 65. Hits. Wilson is leading the way with 70. Again, he did miss those 3 games with suspension, and he's still leading them in hits. Devontae Smith-Pelly with 66, and Ovechkin with 66 as well. Total ice time. So I'm going by total ice time just to show wear and tear. And this does make a difference. Look at the Jets coming out of their 7-game series against Nashville. You look at, really honestly, coming out of a 7-game series is really tough. And I'm going to do a video on that once the Stanley Cup final is done. But you're coming out of a 7-game series against a team that's rested. The team that's rested will usually come out kind of flat that first game, but for the rest of the series, their rest helps them. For total ice time combined in the whole playoffs, Carlson leads the way for the Capitals with 493 minutes and 41 seconds, followed by Niskanen with 484 minutes and 41 seconds, Orlov 466 minutes and 1 second, Kuznetsov 408 minutes and 51 seconds, and then Ovechkin with 403 minutes and 27 seconds. Holtby in net, 12 and 6, 2.04 goals against, 924 save percentage, coming into the finals on a 2-game shutout streak. If you're going to play your best hockey of your career, it's a good time to do it now. Vegas, 15 games played, as I said. Marchessault leads the way in scoring with 8 goals and 10 assists. Riley Smith, 2 goals and 14. Carlson, 6 goals and 7. Tuck, 6 goals and 3. Neal, 4 goals and 5. Theodore, 2 goals and 5 assists. Perron, 7 assists. Howla, 3 goals and 4 assists. Nate Schmidt, 2 goals and 4 assists. And Ryan Carpenter with 5 assists. Shots on goal. Marchessault leads the way with 64. Nielsen, 56. Carlson, 44. Hits. McNabb, 64. Eakin, 53. Carrier, 52 in 9 games played, and in the other 6, it's been Ryan Reeves, and he has 24 in those 6. So you combine them, that's 76 if you just want to get creative that way. Total ice time, big difference. Schmidt, 373 minutes and 8 seconds, followed by England at 339 minutes and 1 second. McNabb, 330 minutes and 28 seconds. Carlson, 329 minutes and 23 seconds. And Shea Theodore, 324.01. In net, Fleury, 12 and 3. So they've played 4 less games, 4 less losses, 1.68 goals against, 947 save percentage. Yes, of all of the goaltending I've seen in the playoffs to date in my lifetime, Fleury's has been the most impressive this year. Can the Capitals get through Marc-Andre Fleury? Fleury is going for the three-peat. If Fleury gets it, that's 3 Stanley Cups in 3 years. And absolutely, he then becomes a Hall of Famer. Just based on that alone, you could almost throw him in the Hall of Fame. But his career coming into this year in Vegas, I was on the fence, like maybe he gets in, maybe not. This does it. There's no way that Marc-Andre Fleury doesn't get in the Hall of Fame after this season. This has been quite the run to get here. And you have the ultimate underdog story in Washington, the team that nobody believed in. You have the team in Vegas that nobody at the start of the year said was going to do this. Nobody. Nobody looked at this team at the start of the year and said, you know what? I think they're going to go to the Stanley Cup final and have home ice when they get there. You would have been committed. They would have very, very happily, and for your own safety, put you in a padded room because there's no way you should be around other people. And I don't know that they would have been necessarily wrong, but by now they are wrong. Vegas has earned it. You look at the players on Vegas, just go ahead and pick out the player that you don't think belongs here. I think people get too caught up in the whole looking at the jersey and not looking at the player that wears it. So you look at the jersey and you go, well, that's a new team. They shouldn't be here. They don't belong here. But look at the players wearing those jerseys and tell me they don't belong here. Tell me Riley Smith and Jonathan Marchessault, James Neal, David Perron, if he plays in this series, Howla, Schmidt, Fleury, any of them don't belong here. And that's the real difference. I get the blowback this team's getting, and if they win this, they're going to get a lot. But honestly, they've been kind of fantastic. And now in the final, they meet the ultimate underdog, the team that's very glad that the final doesn't start until Monday. But still, that's a lot of mileage put on their top players. So we'll see how they respond in Game 1 against Vegas, and we'll see how this works. If Vegas is watching it all, hello, and you guys have a narrative for your series. So you went through the Kings, you went through the Sharks, and the Jets, and the Capitals. Here's how this can work. So you had your Kings you went through first. So you can say like medieval kings or old world kings or whatever. Then you went through the moat. Then you fought the second layer of defense, which is, the Air Force, and now you're storming the Capitol. And you're welcome. So I look forward to the pregame show in Vegas. That's going to be a ton of fun. And I think that should be probably how they work it. But I can't wait to see like 16 team logos on the ice and all the explosions that take place with those. So we'll see how that works. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And this series, this final, should be fantastic. Oh, who am I taking? For Vegas reasons. Because, you know what? I'm going to say this to you Capitals fans. I have picked against you guys every round. So you guys shouldn't be mad at this point. I would right now take Vegas in 6.